Hey folks, and welcome to this new YouTube video with myself, Sarah Lean. Now, managing your Azure resources effectively requires the right tools, and Infrastructure as Code, or IAC, is a game changer. It lets you define and manage your resources through code, ensuring consistency, scalability, and reliability. Now today we're going to explore two primary Terraform providers for Azure, the Azure RM and the AZ API provider. So by the end of this video, you'll know which one suits your Azure infrastructure needs. Now, Terraform providers are plugins that enable Terraform to interact with different platforms, services, or APIs. Think of them as the bridge connecting Terraform to Azure. So each provider translates your Terraform configurations into API calls, allowing you to manage your infrastructure consistently and effectively. Now let's dive into the two Terraform providers for Azure, starting with the Azure RM1. Now, the Azure Resource Manager, or Azure RM provider, is developed and maintained by Microsoft. It's known for its high stability and reliability, making it the ideal choice for your production environments. Now, if you look at the code on the screen, you can see an example of how you would actually define using the Azure RM provider in your Terraform configuration. You can see on the source line, we're referencing that provider and calling that into our Terraform configuration. Now you've also got the AZ API provider, and that is also developed and maintained by Microsoft, and it gives you early access to the latest Azure features, making it perfect for testing and proof of concept environments. If you want cutting edge functionality, AZ API is your go-to. Now again, if you have a look at the code on the screen, we can see here that we're calling that API from the source. We're changing the provider we're going to use to that Azure API one. Now, when I write my Terraform code, I use Visual Studio Code as the editor for that, and I have the AZ API extension installed, and that really helps me with this provider, making sure that my syntax is correct and also helping me with lots of auto completion as well. So I highly recommend, if you're using Visual Studio Code, then you look at that extension for this API. Now, if we compare the Azure RM and AZ API providers across key aspects like stability, speed of updates, and use cases, we can see the differences. So as I said, the Azure RM one is mostly for your production environments. That's the one I would recommend. Whereas if you're looking at testing new features, if you're looking at experimenting, then the AZ API one is more for you. And again, there's use cases for both of them, and you have to understand which one's the best use case for your environment. Which provider will you choose for your next project? Do let me know in the comments below, and please don't forget to like and subscribe for more Azure insights. And thank you for watching. Happy coding with Terraform.